on my whiteboard here. I have nowhere else to go on the right side of it. And I'm so confident because I know that EV with PI is the maximum EV we can ever hope to achieve, given this payoff table and the probabilities. So our current EV will be here, okay, and that's 0.49. Between these two will be our difference between EV with PI and EV, right? And we have a name for that. That's called the EVPI. So by calculation, it is EV with PI minus EV. And so we can write that down. This is basically our 0.16. Yes. And what we can say about it is that this is, or this represents, the kind of budget that we are willing to pay to any consultant. All right, because any human consultant or earthly consultant will not be able to know the future still. And if we assume this being that knows about the future, perfect information, and the best EV with PI with perfect information is still 0.65, no matter how good you do, you cannot bring our current EV to beyond 0.65. That's a fact. So any consultant that comes along that says, you know what, I can improve your EV to 0.50, to 55, to 62, to 649, that's so far so good. If you can bring me from 0.49 to 0.65, that's not bad. The most I can pay you is 160,000, 0.16 millions. That means you bring me up here, I pay you back. I'm back to square one. But still, that's good work done, right? So that's the max I will give you. Doesn't mean I must give you, but that's the max. That's why it's budget. And now that we understand the sort of motivation and rationale or the feel to it behind EVPI, then EVSI will give us a kind of easier understanding. So because EVSI is based on EV with SI. So let me just write this down. EV with SI. So earlier on we get this number from the decision tree. It was 0.5455 millions. Yeah? And this EV with SI is without cost. I need to stress. That means if the consultant charges us $10,000, so that'll be 0.01 million, right? So if the consultant charges us $10,000, we are not as high as this. We should be at 0.5355. But we should not. We should negate the effect of the fees and the charges by adding back the 10,000, still get back this 0.5455. Then we minus off from EV to get finally our EVSI. So EVSI is defined as always the EV with SI without cost. That's why I need to stress that. Without cost. Yeah, okay. So this difference will give us 0.055 million. And what that means is 555 actually million, all right? So in terms of expected value, this consultant, not any consultant, this particular consultant brought us from our current position 0.49 to 0.5455. So is the consultancy good? Answer is yes. The consultant charges $10,000, or maybe the consultant charges $100,000, right? If the consultant charges $100,000, it'll be 0.4455 because it brought us here and then minus back 0.1. So there'll be 0.4455, and that's even worse than our current EV we probably will not hire this consultant, right? However, let's talk about the quality of the information provided by this consultant. Should we go back to the table and negotiate? You know what? Please, we have long-term relationship. Don't charge us 100,000 for this because we need to get this done quickly. Give us a favor here. We'll help you back next time. Should we negotiate? And that, of course, needs to be on the basis of the consultancy. The quality of the information is good, right? On what basis do we do that? So what we do is we find the EV with SI without effects of the cost, without cost. So we add back the $100,000 to still get back the 0.5455. Then we can calculate the EVSI, right? And then we arrive at this and say, well, not bad. It's actually a net positive, right? So I guess we will have to give the consultant a bit of a budget. How should we negotiate? We need a budget, right? So much like EVSI provides a budget for any consultant, including this one, right? This consultant only helps to improve to 0.5455. Maybe there's another consultant that brings us to 0.6499 we have yet to encounter, but this consultant, the budget will be, of course, lesser than 0.16. How much lesser? Follow the EVSI. So essentially, EVSI is also, or can be thought of as a budget. I'm going to phrase it similarly so that we can compare. We are willing to pay not to any, but this particular consultant, right, with this particular reliability matrix. That's exactly the idea, right? Because this consultant with this reliability matrix brought our EV from 0.49 to this good, not this good, closer to 0.65. Yeah, so not bad, but not perfect. So if another consultant comes along, brings us to 0.6455, then we will have more allowance. But no matter who comes along, we will not pay more than EVPI millions of dollars. Okay, see that? So now we have covered how we calculate the EVSI and EVPI, and also how to compare them, how to contrast them. And of course, if we come back to our slide here, we find that we can compare them using the ratio, right? So the efficiency of information, that's what we call them, is just calculating the ratio. Of course, the closer to 100%, the better is this consultant, because it's bringing us to what is actually possible. Now, to go beyond EV with PI is impossible, but if it is 90%, if this consultant brings us to 90% of what is possible, that's really, really good, right? So then we will have higher budget for this consultant. Okay, so after revising everything, we managed to calculate EVSI, EVPI, knowing how to interpret them. We finally have our strategy, and the whole strategy is written out like this. That, first of all, are you charging, right? We're going to negotiate with you. If you charge more than $55,500, nah, forget it. Because yes, you will improve our EV, but you're going to set us back to worse than what we started off with. So just go along with our current EV. Our current EV without consultant basically was to settle on D2, right? And choose D2. If, however, the fee can be negotiated to lesser than our budget of $55,500, then the best way to go forward is to have the consultancy, the survey, and depending on the outcome, if consultant says S1, so that's I1. I1 means consultant says S1, then we will do D3 as what we tried just now, because D3 gives us the highest EV along that path. If the consultant says S2, then we will choose D2, and finally, if consultant says S3, that is, if we encounter I3 event, then choose D1. All these will be taken from the decision tree that we have earlier calculated in this manner, right? So always following the logic of the numbers. Okay, so let's come back to this slide again.